In the final Digimon Adventure Tri movie, for me personally, the MVP of that movie was evil Gennai. His menacing evil laugh, his diabolical plan to kill either Tai or Nishijima, him just toying around with everyone, including all the DigiDestined and the humans when they were all trying to stop Ordinamon. He was loving every moment of it. He was like the Joker from the Batman films, just loving all the chaos that he was causing. He was just naturally such an evil prick, and that's my main focus in this video today. I know we in the Digimon community have been theorizing since evil Gennai made his debut as Ken on whether or not an evil Digimon has possessed evil Gennai. Me included, I made countless theory videos on evil Gennai, one of which I even claimed evil Gennai might be Daemon. And this was all back when Digimon Adventure Tri was still ongoing. But one question none of us even considered: what if Gennai was always evil? Maybe he was undercover all along, but we just didn't know about it. Let's discuss. Just think about it for a second. He was so naturally evil in those movies that it almost seems like that's his true personality. If you look back in season 2, he deleted all the data and news that the governments have gathered up on all the Digimon that were attacking in the real world. But now apparently he was helping the governments, warning them about the infected Digimon. Then why delete all the data in the first place? Why not let the humans keep all the information of the Digimon in case another crisis take place? Then the humans would actually trust the DigiDestined to help the government forces out, because that's what was happening in those movies. The DigiDestined kept butting heads with the government officials. Gennai has always been a shady, vague character, like for instance the puzzle in Myotismon's base. That puzzle which allowed the DigiDestined to go back to the real world. How does he know about that puzzle in the first place? If he could know that such a puzzle exists in Myotismon's lair of all places, then how could he have not known the right combinations? If Izzy could figure it out, then surely Gennai will know the combinations as well, or at least have a vague idea. Tai could have easily chosen the wrong card, and that would have doomed the real world by letting Myotismon come in and invading the real world, as well as finding the 8th DigiDestined child. Can you imagine the consequences? All the DigiDestined are trapped either in the digital world or in another world, like the world of dreams for instance, whilst Myotismon and his army take over the real world. And who's going to stop Myotismon? At the time, we didn't know if there were any other international DigiDestined. As far as we were aware, Tai and his team are the only DigiDestined team, and even if we knew about the international DigiDestined, what could they have done? Some of them are thousands of miles away, helpless. Look at our war game. When the missiles were being launched to Tokyo, what could the international DigiDestined do to help stop those missiles? Even some of our own main DigiDestined team didn't even help out. So if the worst case scenario did happen, then Myotismon would have ruled the real world. If Gennai is so knowledgeable, why didn't he tell the current DigiDestined about the original DigiDestined? Why didn't he tell them about Maki and Nishijima during Tri, or even before Tri happened? From Tri, we have seen Maki and Nishijima in the real world, which meant that they used a portal to go back from the digital world to the real world. And I'm certain there was no puzzle involved. We have seen Gennai go in and out from the real world into the digital world and vice versa. So Gennai really risked everything, when I'm sure he could have shown them an alternative route back to the real world other than Myotismon's dodgy puzzle. Or maybe he was counting on Tai to mess up so it dooms the real world. The evil Gennai in Digimon Adventure Tri would do that because he's a master manipulator. In the original season, we have seen Devimon, Etamon and Myotismon wreak havoc in the digital world, but Gennai didn't do anything to stop them. If not for the DigiDestined, they still would have been going on their rampage in the digital world, and Myotismon would have killed everyone in the real world. In season 1, when Homeostasis took over Kari and showed the flashback when Piedmon wanted to steal all the crests, in that flashback we see Gennai actually fighting Piedmon. But during that fight, Piedmon put a little dark ball inside of Gennai. Could this have been the thing that made Gennai permanently evil? Of course, after when Piedmon put that little ball inside of Gennai, Gennai was still fighting back. But what if that little ball is like a dark spore and over time gradually turn Gennai evil? Exactly like the dark spore we see with Ken in Adventure 02. Because clearly before Gennai got that dark ball inside of him, he was going ham against Piedmon, who is a mega Digimon, which is nothing to sneeze at. But now, ever since that flashback, we have not seen Gennai fully fighting back against the forces of darkness. Gennai before that moment was probably a good guy, but now ever since then he has turned. Maybe he told the governments in the real world about the oncoming threat of the infected Digimon because he knew that the people within the governments of the world would want to go to the digital world, as they have tried before. When Gennai explained in season 2, after the battle with Myotisman, scientists and researchers were trying to go to the digital world. He knew that the humans would make that mistake again, and in doing so, it created the distortions of space and many other portals, which allow the infected Digimon to travel to the real world, which is what Yggdrasil wanted by having Ordinamon and the infected Digimon destroy the real world. Maybe this was all part of Gennai's plan. Every time Gennai would show a prophecy, like the Hour of the Beast prophecy, he then doesn't know what it means. How can someone like Gennai not know what these prophecies mean? He does this all the time. He will show the team something important that could be life-changing in a good way, or it could result into a massive train wreck. He will show them something important, and then right at the last second he just pulls out and says, I don't know anything. That's a good way of gaining trust. Give the team some valuable information but not explain what the information is. The fact that the team received any information at all from Gennai will make them trust him, and they won't suspect anything. If it doesn't know what it means, they're just grateful that they received the information in the first place. Absolute genius move by Gennai. If he was the true villain all along, he showed his true colors in Digimon Adventure Tri. He gained their trust and pretended to not know anything, and then almost caused the doom of the real world. Anyway guys, that's my little theory video. Gennai being evil this whole time really hit me in the final Digimon Adventure Tri film. It's like in the first Doctor Strange film, where you find out that the Ancient One was using the dark power all this time, but she turned out to be good. It could be similar to that scenario, but Gennai was always evil in this case. What do you guys think? Please let me know in the comments if I managed to convince you that Gennai was always evil. Hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell to stay up to date with our content. And as always, care for nothing.